So what goes through the scruffy trader's mind on a daily basis?
God only knows.
Well, we're going to explore that in this video. I'm going to show you kind of roughly how I plan things out, why I plan them, and what the results are. Now that's the main part, the results in real time that you can see. But where's this video come from? Well, a lot of the time you've got to come to a realization in life that maybe something isn't working. Now that could be anything. It could be your trading world, your relationship, or in my case, this particular channel.
Oh no.
So the first thing that I said is what goes through scruffy trader's mind on a morning. Well, it's actually organized chaos all the time. And basically the first thing that's running through my mind is a coffee, because we all know Scruffy likes a coffee.
Yes, it's coffee time. Coffee, 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 coffee.
And he does. The next part that's always run through my mind is, how do I make Juan's life better? That's it. That's the first thought I have when I wake up in the morning. How do I make Juan's life better?
Well, it has to be for sex.
Because the one thing I know is if she's happy, I'm happy. Now, underneath that, we have our kids. I want to ensure that they're happy. You know, they have their own lives now, but I worry about them every day. And at the moment, I worry about my grandkids. So everything I'm doing is built around that. Can I do that in one day?
Fuck no!
No, I can't. Can't at all. It's a long-term plan. So what's actually going on in my head is always forward planning quite far down the line. Now, a lot of people will be turning off right now, and good riddance to, you know, because they're never going to make it in this industry. And when it comes to, are you ever going to make it in this industry, there's a few principles I work to. Now, I've cleared out a lot of the Scruffy Squad group.
Really?
Really?
You know, because they're not going to make it. And I've got little time for some of the ones that are in there. But I'll explain why. They're chasing money too much. So they're damaging themselves. And I don't want to be responsible for that. I'm not a teacher. I've got no desire to be a teacher, but I'll help anybody. So if you come to me as a one-to-one, if I think you're failing when I'm going through it, I'll tell you flat, this ain't for you. And people do kick off and they go, oh, you can't see that. You have to show me how to make money. I say, no, you're fucking useless. You're not going to do it. But I'm being honest with them. Now, a lot of people kick off, go, oh, he told me fuck off. Yeah, you're right, I did. And I'll tell you to fuck off again. But there's a difference. If I tell you you're no good at the job, it's because you basically haven't got the skill set to do it. And you failed before you start. If I tell you to fuck off, it's because you're an arsehole.
Oh, here we go. No.
And if you're an arsehole, you will get to insult me once. That's it. And then I'll tell you to fuck off. That's simple. All right? So that's the difference between them. Now, when it comes to the channel, I've come to realize the way that I am and what I do is not resonating with people at all. They just don't like it. I can't do a 5-minute video telling you what a trade is. And if you think for a merry second you're going to watch a 5-minute video by one of these glossy fucking morons saying, oh yeah, you do this, you do that, you make a gazillion.
Oh, make it stop.
You're fucking delusional. So there's no point. Get out of the industry. Stop what you're doing. Get out of it. And that is the best advice I can give you. All right? So if you're a signal hunter, looking for quick money, and you think you're going to learn this in a week, you're not. Period. And I don't want to know any of them. I want to know people that are willing to put the work in. The same as if I was employing somebody in my factory. I never really lost an employee when I had my factory. And I didn't lose many reps when I was in the blue chip. Why? Because I looked after them. Was I tough with them? Yeah. Because we had to do it right. That was the thing. But I was always fair.
Sensitive.
And I looked after them very well. So they didn't leave. Right? The ones who left were the ones who were never going to cut it. All right. So first thing in the morning, if I'm going through my planning day, this is what my day looks like. I'm finished now for the day and it's 20 to 12. Okay. Done my day. So I can go cinema this afternoon if I want to. I'm not. Wait until Friday. Go see The Mandalorian. But then again, Joanne wants to go see Michael Jackson. So I don't know. I might go. But I'll have to get back because I will be with the Scruffy Squad live tonight. And they'll tell you in them live sessions, I pull no fucking punches. You know, tell them the way it is, but I do it in front of them. You know, it's like the other night. You know, we broke down cable. Horrible fucking chart, but it did exactly what I said I was going to do. Why? Because I know how to plan a trade. I don't look to run at a trade. Big, big difference. Okay, if you're running at a trade, just, oh my God, it's there. I'm in. Oh my God, it's opening. The 8 o'clock has started. Oh God, look at the market move. Fuck off.
Who'd be stupid enough to do that?
Justify, stupid.
You're losing your money because there's no planning in that whatsoever. All right? You've got to understand why it's moving at a certain time. You've got to understand what it is you're looking for, but more importantly, why you're looking for it. Okay? That's the big point. So, between 6 and 7 in the morning, I get up, come to this chair, and I have a cup of coffee, and I start thinking about what the day is. You know, how can I make today good? Where do I need to go? Well, first thing that I'll do is I'll figure out what the strength of the market is. So I sit and work all of that out. Normally I have that done in and around sort of 6:45 to 7:20. I have that finished. Now, the certain markets move constantly, like euro dollar, pound JPY, pound USD. They move all the time. DAX even. I don't trade the DAX at the moment because I do think the indices are a little bit dangerous, contrary to what people think. The way I look at things is very simple. If I don't understand it, I don't trade it. I don't understand the moves at the moment, so I don't trade it. So I step away from it. You want to go into it? Fine. Knock yourself out. Lose your money? Crack on. I'll fucking laugh all my way to the bank when I bank mine. So I look at safe havens. Euro-dollar is a very good safe haven. So around 7, 7:15, I'm looking for a surge. Now, that surge comes in while I'm doing other things, and it's a dead easy setup. You know, it's just the pulse of the market for about 5 pips. Done. All right? That's what you're seeing me do on the challenge. Now, in and around that time when I finish, I then I am reading the news, and I've got my Squawk box up there because, and believe it or not, I listen to Sky Australian news because they know more about what's going on in the UK than what the fucking Sky UK does, which I find really bizarre. But I watch that on the morning, just see what's going on. Then I'll read through Bloomberg, see what's happening there. Then I'll go through Baby Pip's economic calendar, see what's going on there. Sometimes I look at FX Street or investing.com. But I'll do this all across the first hour. I'm building up a plan in my head. Now, once I've made the strengths, I can filter out to the market I'm going to trade, and it's based on furthest apart. Why is that? If they're far apart, they're going to move. If they're sitting together, they're going to do that. So I'm looking for best opportunity. Now, I'm also looking for a simple basket. I only trade 5 products at the moment, and I look to see which is best fit, and then I'll zero in on it. Now, I am trading multiple accounts. Now, I trade cable every day. I trade euro-dollar every day, but I'm doing them on separate accounts that are solely for those products.
Why?
And I'm only looking to do 15 pips or 10 pips per trade or per day on those things, so I can get it done relatively quickly. Then I concentrate on my wage. So it's very easy for me to do multiple accounts because I've got a big setup here. All right. And the other part of it is, this is my job. So of course I can do it. I'm not trying to chase the market. I'm watching the market. Big, big difference. So once I've zoomed in on what I'm doing, that's it. I start writing a plan out as to what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. Now I do that between 8 and 9. Why do I do it between 8 and 9? Well, it's very simple. I don't trade opens.
I'm frightened, Ellie. I'm frightened.
It's fucking suicide to trade opens. You want to trade opens? Same as before. knock yourself out, lose your money. I couldn't give a fuck. Right? Why? Because you're chasing the market. And you're doing it over and over. You're not planning the market, you're running at it. So that's how I do things and why I do them. And then once I've been paid what I need to be paid, I quit. It's that simple. So I'm going to show you a couple of little accounts that can illustrate why planning is important. See, when you've got a big account, and I'll show you my fund as well, right? I can lay my hands on 50 grand at any time I want. So for me to do 2.5 lots in an account, piece of piss, because I've got the equity behind me that I can do it. But it took me a while to get there. Now, the other ones, like sort of when you're looking at prop, and I'm running through a couple at the moment, prop is there simply to burn out. Always remember that. To run a prop for years and years and years is difficult. I have done it. Let me show you something.
Well, we're waiting.
The Fivers recently did a 10-year anniversary, and I was awarded that. Longest active trader. Held my account for 7 years. Wasn't the biggest account, but it was the most consistent. Now that is what trading's all about. It's not about the money. It's about the consistency. And if you're chasing the money all the time, get out of this industry because you're going to lose.
It's greed.
So we've got an account here. This one started at 20 days ago, 23 days ago. And I track it on these things. I run these all the time. Now, the way it's working is very simple. I'm looking to do 10 to 15 pips a day on it. So tomorrow's target will be 26 quid. It grows slowly. Why does it grow slowly? Because it might have a 10,000 starting balance, but it has a very limited drawdown, which is, just move this across, which is here. Okay, it's only 3% on a day. That is pretty sharp, and you've got to do a 0.5%. Let me just pull that in. Go the wrong way. And you've got to do 0.5% per day, for 3 days. Now I've done that, so I'm just taking it easy and I'm chugging along. 23 days straight, no losing days. Why? Because I do steady growths. Now when I started this, there it is up there. It started at 30p a position. We're now up to 170. It is over leveraged. I'll be looking to scale that back soon. And I'll pull it back to 10p per 100. Why? So I don't stress the account out. That's the general gist of this. Okay. Now look at this lot. What you can see is how it operates. I'm not in the markets all the time. I'm doing hour segments over and over. And then when I'm done, I'm done. And then if I run it right through, there's the positions and the commissions, etc. So that's that one, 23 days. There is a second one. Now this one's a tiny wee one. Again, it's the same principle. You're running through, it's 3% daily drawdown, got nowhere to go with it. I'll build it up, grow slowly. I haven't done the profitable days yet, but they'll come naturally just as the increase comes in. So this is all a plan. Now this has been running 10 days. And again, finished for the day. Job's done. Tomorrow we'll be increasing this. So we'll be starting, where's that, 5. So I'll be starting tomorrow's target, take it to the nearest 50p. 550 is what we'll be looking at tomorrow. Okay. Nice and simple. It's an easy way to do things. So what we can do is, this is that. We'll show you. What have I done today? So there it is today. So I've done 28 quid today. Smashed through the target. And it's just steady along. Plump, 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 plump. All right. But let's just drop this back. There's the 10k going in. And then look down. It's all just steady, consistent runs all the way through. Just down it goes, following the same thing over and over and over. and then you end up with a 670 profit. Take out your costs, you're left with 560 profit in 23 days. Wow. Amazing, eh? Well, it is, because once I get to the end of the month and it's time, I'll just take half of that out, or 3/4. I might take it all out. Who fucking knows, right? That's what I do, you know, and I'll do that till the account burns out. And then I'll start again. Return on investment. That's how businesses grow. They put so much in to get so much out. But when you're trading, you try to put a tiny in to get a huge out. That's not how business works. And it's also why you're failing all the time. Again, people will say I'm wrong. Fine, crack on. I'm still here. And you've watched me build this thing up for 7 years. From fuck all. 7 years, day in, day out. Can you do that? So that's that one. Let's have a look at the other one just so we can compare. This one today, 650. Fucking 650, Scruff. I couldn't give a fuck about 650. That's why you fail. Well, let's have a little look, see where this one started, shall we? There. There's the deposit going in. And then down it goes. Bish, bash, bosh. All the way down. Steady trading. Down. 141 less 112. Just chugs along. So what's the moral of the story with that? Steady little steps win the day. As long as they're planned. You don't plan it, you ain't getting it. It's that simple. So let me just log into something here. Bear with me just a second. Okay, so this is my fund. This is where I keep a reasonable amount of money. Got one here. Joanna has one that mirrors it. Okay, this is what I use for my trading, but it's also an investment that'll set my grandkids up and help me a little bit in retirement. So this is a long-term plan, probably the next 5 years or so. Now, at the moment, it's working for itself. So not only am I contributing to it so I can take my foot off the gas a little bit, it's growing itself. Now, over the last year, this has grown on its own £33,000. Well, that's a wage. So do I need to do anything? No. I could just sit and live off this if I wanted to. I contributed into it over this last financial year, £52,000. Well, £6 under. But that's basically £1,000 a week. Where did that come from?
Fuck if I know.
It came from trading the way I've just shown you. Little steady steps over and over and over, compounded and grown, compounded and grown. Let's take this back 2 years so you can kind of see something. So we'll go back, May 24. So we'll go to the 1st of May 24. We'll view that. Right. So, May 24, this fund was only £79,000. 79 grand. All right. Look at it now. Just under 200. It was over 200. It slipped back in the last couple of days. All right. So what that's showing you here is the compounding effect is starting to pay off. Okay. It's building up constantly. All right. So it made a lot of money in the last year or so, but 2 years ago, it wasn't making that much money. So the forward planning is paying off. And now it's at a point where it's sustainable. But it took a lot of work. Didn't happen. Because I watched the 5-minute video.
You know, you're a classic example of the inverse ratio between the size of the mouth and the size of the brain.
Fucking idiot. Right. Now let's have a little look at this thing. What's the investments in it? What's the holdings? There you are. It's a very simple holding. The global indexes, coupled with a bit of cash and something that's high value, which is here. You know, don't keep a lot of money in it because it's high risk. So I stick with Steady Eddie. Steady Eddie is the way forward. I don't care about funds that have bigger returns because next year I could lose the lot. I want them that are flatlining straight through. So that's a way forward. Transactions. They're not big. 25 quid, 250, 50, 19 quid. Not a lot, is it? You know, 650, 143, 7. Yeah, put a bit of money here. That was me swapping funds round. You'll see that there was a seller 27 and I just took it out of one fund, put in another when I rebalanced it in April. But they're not big amounts that's going into it. So what I'm trying to explain very oddly, and yes, a lot of people will not be this far into the video, is if you plan something, you can create it. Trading is like climbing a mountain. You know, would you climb a mountain without knowing how to do it?
No way!
Of course you wouldn't. You'd fucking fall off because you wouldn't know how to anchor into the ridges. You know, so if you fell, your safety net would hold you. What if you didn't know how to do that anchor? Well, you fall to your death. Trading's the same. You've got to know what the pitfalls are. You've got to know how to get out of trouble if you're in it. But also, every single mountaineer, before they start climbing up a mountain, will take a few minutes to look at it. And they'll look to see if they can plan a route to the summit. Every single one of them. And the ones who don't, well, they're the ones that are still sitting on Everest, frozen like icicle. Something for you to think about. So, it was just a thought. Am I disillusioned with what's going on at the moment? Yeah. Massively so. Because I set this channel up because a friend of mine said it was a good idea because I do record my trades. And the whole idea was to try and help people. But what I've come to the realization is it doesn't help people at all. If anything, it's possibly damaging people because they think it's easy.
What I call them? Fun coupon!
And then they take a run at it without actually doing the planning. So if I was a mountaineer and a guide, I wouldn't let them climb the mountain. I would tell them to go home and get some muscle memory, get some strength awareness, understand how to tie a knot, understand what a grappling hook is, and then understand that you do not take K2 on your first week. You climb a small, easy mountain that you can get up. And then as your strength and your stamina builds up, you get better. Now, nobody can teach you that. Nobody. You've got to decide whether you've got the stamina. Now, if you have, by all means, come to the squad. The squad's not going, but the public will. And eventually, when the squad dwindles down, I'll just wrap it up altogether. It's that simple. And why is that? I'm not bringing value. And there's certainly no value given to me because every video is not really supported. You know, look at the view count. There's next to nobody looks at it. I'll make videos specifically for certain people that ask, and they haven't got the common courtesy to say thank you. So I'm left at the point now where it's really coming to its end. So I hope that kind of gives you an insight into what's going on in my head. I hope that it gives you an insight into how trading truly is, not the Mickey Mouse that you see on TikTok. But more importantly, I hope that it makes you look yourself in the mirror and think, can I actually do this? Because if you're doing it just on a whim, you're wasting your time.
Mother of God.
Absolutely wasting your time. And nobody on YouTube will tell you that. Not one. But I will. Because I earn my money off them screens. I don't give a fuck whether you're here or not. Something for you to think about. So if you're carrying on in this journey, I wish you well. If you are truly committed to it, I'll walk every step of the path with you. And I'll tell you when you're wrong, and I'll tell you when you're right. But I'll also tell you when to get out. Can't be any fairer than that. So as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.